Commonwealth, you may call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Commonwealth calls Officer Shannon Oliver.
If you would, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Please have a seat and state your name for the record.
Shannon Oliver.
Any question?
Thank you, Your Honor. Shannon, if you would, please tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury how you're employed.
By the Edible Police Department.
Shannon, do you recall whether or not you were on duty on August the 21st of 2020?
Yes.
And on that date, did you come into contact with Mr. Raymond Fernandez?
Yes.
If you would, just tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what you were doing and how you came in contact with him.
So I was just on routine patrol on 93 South as I was driving north towards Eddyville. I noticed that as I was passing the car wash, there was a vehicle parked to the side. I noticed that there was an individual outside of his vehicle that was urinating on the side of the car wash. So as I went to turn around and go and speak with him to address the issue, I noticed that his vehicle was already leaving the car wash. He made his way to the intersection of 62 and 93 at the stoplights and made a left turn onto 62 West, where I conducted a traffic stop. I approached the vehicle and spoke with Mr. Fernandez. I could immediately smell alcohol coming from him when I was speaking with him. I asked him to exit the vehicle. While I was speaking with him, I noticed that his speech was slurred. He was a little unsteady on his feet. We conducted some field sobriety tests. After conducting those field sobriety tests, I determined and felt confident that he was under the influence of alcohol and it was unsafe for him to be on the road. So at that point, he was placed under arrest. I transported him to our jail facility here. He was then read the implied consent, which is what we're required to do before we ask somebody to take an intoxilizer test, which is just a test of someone's breath to show their alcohol level. I explained to Mr. Fernandez everything, told him, because he told me that he had had a couple of beers, was what he said. And I explained to him if he had only had a couple of beers, he should be well below that .08 limit. If he has had more than that, then...
At this point, the prosecution's story sounds simple, but the defense hasn't had its chance yet. Pay attention to every detail from here on out, because some of these statements will be challenged later in ways you probably won't expect.
The test will also show that. After I explained that to him, he then refused to take the test.
Let me back up just a little bit.
Sure.
So are you driving down 93 and you see a gentleman urinating on the outside of the car wash, and that's what made you say, hey, I need to stop that car?
I felt like at that point I was just wanting to address the issue to say, you know, there's a gas station right across the parking lot. Could you please not urinate on the side of a building in front of everyone here to see?
And so whenever you get up to the vehicle, what kind of got your gears turned in that alcohol may be in play here?
Just as he was speaking with me, I could smell it on him, and as I said before, I had asked him if he had been drinking anything, and he did say that he had had a couple of beers.
Okay, so Mr. Fernandez told you that he'd been drinking that night?
He did.
Okay, and he said he'd been drinking beer?
Yes.
Okay. Did you make any observations about the way he looked, the way he acted, how he was standing whenever he got out of the car, anything like that?
Nothing other than the fact that I noticed that his speech was a little slurred. He was unsteady on his feet. He did show a couple of clues throughout the field sobriety test. Other than that, Mr. Fernandez during the traffic stop was polite and cooperative.
Okay. Now, the field sobriety test, explain to the jury what they are and which ones you gave to the defendant.
Okay. The first test that we ask is called an HGN. It's the horizontal gaze nystagmus, which is basically what most people refer to as the eye test. When I attempted to give that test to him, in order for me to properly conduct it, the individual has to keep their head still so he can follow my finger with his eyes. Mr. Fernandez wasn't able to do that. He kept moving his head back and forth, so we weren't able to conduct that test. The next test is the walk and turn, where basically we have the individual stand in a stationary position with his right foot in front of his left, explain the instructions to him. We have him take 9 heel-to-toe steps and count out loud while he's doing that. Once he completes that, since he's taken an uneven number of steps, he ends with his left foot. He's to make a small series of turns and repeat the same 9 steps back. During that test,
Your Honor, may we approach?
You may.
It appears that the witness is referring to something. I mean, we're repeating the same thing that happened last trial. I asked the court to have whatever it is that he's referring to, since he's not an expert witness. He's not permitted to review any reports while he's testifying. It is okay if he doesn't remember something. He can ask Mr. Wilson to provide him to refresh his recollection, but the witness is not permitted by law to have anything to test while they're testifying. He must testify from memory.
I think that is the.
I can ask him that, that's fine.
You could just give it.
Yeah.
Remove them.
Thank you.
Okay, continue.
Shannon, how long has it been since you stopped Mr. Fernandez?
a couple of years,
Okay. Have you undertaken many traffic stops since then?
hundreds.
Okay. Do you need any documents, including your citation, to refresh?
Your Honor,
recollection?
he hasn't said that he doesn't remember yet. That's not how refreshing one's recollection works.
It is.
I would like to be able to look at my citation and make sure that I'm properly testifying to the
If you-
clues that I put on there.
If you could.
There must be a question first, Your Honor.
Go ahead, Mr. Wilson, with your request.
Thank you. Shannon, do you need any documents to refresh your recollection, and if so, why?
I would like to be able to review my citation to make sure that I'm answering the questions properly of the clues that he showed.
Thank you. Your Honor, may I present the witness with his citation?
I believe you can when there is a question.
Thank you. So Shannon, you were talking about the walk-and turn test.
Yes.
Do you recall how the gentleman performed on the walk-and turn test?
I would like to review my citation to see those clues that he
Your Honor,
showed.
may I approach the witness with his
Now, to
citation?
that we have no objection, Your Honor.
You may.
Thank you.
So on my citation during the walk and turn test, I just documented that he lost balance during his first step and he used his arms for balance.
If you're enjoying these real courtroom breakdowns, take a second to like the video. And if you're new here, subscribe. We cover courtroom moments like this every week.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may.
So overall, Shannon, did his field sobriety test lead you to believe that he may or may not be under the influence of alcohol?
Yes,
And was that coupled with his statement that he had been drinking that night?
it was.
So at that point, did you transport the gentleman to the Lyon County Jail?
Yes,
Okay. And whenever he's transported to the Lyon County Jail, he's already been placed under arrest at this point?
correct.
Okay. Once you get to the Lyon County Jail, did you read the gentleman the implied consent?
Objection, Your
form?
Honor. Counsel is testifying.
Is there a response?
I'm asking open-ended questions.
Okay, I'm going to overrule.
Thank you. May I restate my question?
You may.
Okay. Did you request the gentleman to complete the intoxilizer?
Yes, I read the implied consent.
Okay. And
Yes,
you read the implied consent to the gentleman?
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did he blow into the intoxilizer machine?
No, he did not.
Okay. Shannon, based upon your training, your experience, and based upon your observations of Mr. Fernandez that evening, do you believe that he was under the influence of alcohol?
Yes, he was.
And if you would, just summarize for the jury why you believe that.
Based on, like I said, he admitted that he was drinking, the signs that he showed during the field sobriety test. Also, I've been dealing with DUI drivers over the last 15 years. I know that they are going to probably criticize my experience and my
Objection, Your
training.
Honor. Relevance.
Response?
I don't have a response.
I will sustain the objection.
If you may continue without trying to assume.
Okay. So throughout my experience, I've arrested, unfortunately, hundreds of DUI drivers.
And once again, Your Honor, objection relevance. We're talking about Mr. Fernandez here.
I've asked the gentleman in regards to his training and his experience. He's testifying in regards to his experience and based thereupon his own personal opinion.
I will overrule and allow it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You can continue.
So I have, over the last 15 years, I've dealt with hundreds of DUI drivers. And if they've been over the age of 21, if they've cooperated and come back to the jail and they have blown into the intoxilizer, I haven't had one of those individuals that have blown less than a .08. So up to this point, my judgment and my experience has served me pretty well. So that's why I believe that he was under the influence and why he was placed under arrest.
Thank you very much. Your Honor, those are all the questions I have of the witness at this time.
Cross-examination?
Thank you, Your Honor. Let's talk about something we haven't talked about yet. You've been trained on how to do field sobriety tests, right?
Correct.
And in this particular case, when you stopped and arrested Mr. Fernandez, he was over the age of 65, right?
I believe so.
And you were trained that if you administer the test to an individual over the age of 65, the veracity could be compromised. Basically, the tests could not be reliable if the individual was over the age of 65, right?
I was trained that if the individual says that he has any type of physical ailment that could potentially affect the result of a test, then we take that into consideration and we don't do the test. Anyone over the age of 65 that's a perfectly healthy individual, we will do the test. And best I recall that night, he didn't mention any physical ailments.
That was not my question. My question is, your manual states that any individual over the age of 65, if administered these
Objection.
tests,
Argumentative and hearsay and lack of foundation.
Response?
Your Honor, if I may rephrase the question.
You may.
All right. Let's talk about your training. Do you remember your training?
Sure.
It was 15 years ago. It was a long time ago, right? But do you remember receiving a DUI detection and enforcement manual that is promulgated by the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration?
Yes.
Do you remember in that manual a page that states that if an individual with, like you said, either injuries, medical ailments, or anyone over the age of 65 is given these tests, the validity may be compromised? Do you remember that?
I don't believe that that was the situation in this case, but it could be.
That's not my question. My question is, do you
I'm
remember that from your
I'm
training?
fixing to finish my answer if you'll let me. I don't believe that that was the situation in this case, but it did state that that could be an issue, yes.
Thank you.
May we approach, Your Honor?
You may.
I'd ask the counsel either question the witness from the podium or the tape. I believe he's in the well unpermissibly. I believe he's trying to exert influence on the witness.
I'm simply trying to talk to the witness a bit more like a human rather than an attorney, because I think this case has become a lot more than just this case, Your Honor.
I am going to state that you ask for the podium, and then if you need to approach the witness, you can ask the court for approachment.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
If I may have a moment, Your Honor.
You may.
Now, Mr. Oliver, do you recall being notifying dispatch of the fact that you are stopping a vehicle on
Yes.
August 21st of 2020?
Yes.
And what does dispatch do when you notify them that you are on patrol and you're about to initiate a stop?
They update the CAD system.
What is the CAD system?
Basically where they document the time so we can keep up with everything that's taking place.
Does it stand for computer-assisted dispatch, to your
Yes.
knowledge?
Yes.
Now, so far in your whole testimony today, we have not heard that there was a second police officer on scene.
Correct.
Is it your testimony here today that on August 21st, 2020, you were the only officer conducting the investigation of Mr. Raymond Fernandez?
After reviewing the CAD system recently, I do recall now that there was another officer there.
So this is not what you testified to previously, correct?
Correct.
Previously, you have been asked if there was another officer on scene, and you stated that there was not, correct?
I believe I stated that I didn't believe so. I wasn't for sure. But after, like I said, after I reviewed that recently, there was another officer there.
So you are asking the court to correct your prior testimony about this case?
Correct.
Do you recall, after reviewing the CAD detail, what was that officer's name?
Deputy People.
What time did you stop Mr. Fernandez? Do you recall?
We need to review my citation.
If I may approach the witness, Your Honor.
You may.
(21:26), which would be 9 p.m. Not, or 9:26 p.m. I'm sorry.
9:26 p.m.?
Yes.
And what time did you arrest Mr. Fernandez?
9:37 p.m.
If I may approach the witness, Your Honor.
You may.
So 9:26, you stop Mr. Fernandez, correct?
Correct.
And you arrest him 11 minutes later at 9:37.
Correct.
Did you wear a body camera of any kind on August 21st of 2020?
Unfortunately, our department doesn't provide body cameras.
Did you have a dash camera in your vehicle on August 21st of 2020?
Also is not provided.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Redirect.
I have no further questions and no further witnesses, Your Honor.
And just like that, the first witness steps down. The prosecution presented its version of events, but the cross-examination raised questions the jury will have to consider carefully. In a courtroom, even one overlooked detail can change how an entire case is viewed.
Thank you. You may be excused. Mr. Foreman, you may call your first witness.
Your Honor, if we may have a brief 5-minute recess.
Okay. We will be in recess. It looks like it is